What kind of crime netted this man 230 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections? According to police, last year, Snapchat sent a tip to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, known as NCMEC, about Christian sellers. What Snapchat tipped NCMEC off to was what NCMEC already knew to be CSAM. And CSAM is child sexual abuse material, but I'm going to continue to refer to it as CSAM. So, whenever an investigation was started, Snapchat sent the IP address and the username, which was sellers01345, to NCMEC. So NCMEC then got that information. The images and videos in question showed little boys that were mostly between the ages of 6 to 9 years old that were unclothed from the waist down, and there were sexual acts involved. One of the videos in particular did show a little boy who was a toddler. Police then received a cyber tip line report completely separate from the thing with Snapchat that was from an app called Omegle. And Omegle said that this person who became known to be Christian Sellers was on their app, which the app Omegle is supposed to connect strangers, just like randomly connect strangers. The Christian Sellers was on there looking for little boys. It actually said M18 looking for little boy. Honestly, I wish that that was the end of the Christian Sellers case, but unfortunately it wasn't, because police became aware of a previously SA case involving Christian Sellers where an individual said that Christian Sellers allegedly touched a 4-year-old while he was changing the 4-year-old's diaper. The parent said that Christian was not allowed in their home anymore, but the child was taken to the Child Advocacy Center and the child did not disclose anything that happened at that point. Police in Benton County were able to obtain a search warrant when they took devices from Christian Sellers. They found so many photos and videos that contained CSAM. On a phone alone that belonged to Christian Sellers, it was an iPhone 12. Police were able to find a hidden folder on that cell phone, and in that hidden folder, they located 96 images and 272 video files. During an initial interview, Christian did admit to having CSAM. He estimated that he had somewhere between 78 and 100 images or videos of CSAM on his devices. He did advise that he only downloaded the images, that he did not send them out anywhere. When Christian was asked about the SA allegations by that 4-year-old, he did admit to touching that 4-year-old inappropriately while changing the diaper. And when detectives asked him if the act of touching that 4-year-old inappropriately aroused him, he did nod his head in the affirmative. Yes, it did arouse him. Christian also admitted to having done this 2 times to the 4-year-old, not just once. So in June 2023, Christian Sellers was arrested. He was originally charged with 2 counts of second degree SA, which is a B felony, and then 10 counts of being in possession of CSAM, which are C felonies. And there is something so wrong with the criminal justice system, in my opinion, if you can do that to a child and only be charged with a B felony. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? We're not protecting our kids, I can tell you that. If the punishment for harming children, especially in this way, was so bad that they just didn't want to face that punishment, I think that there would be a lot less of this. I'm not saying that it would get rid of it altogether. Certainly, we wouldn't eradicate pedophiles from society, but I think that there would be less of them, or at least people that thought twice about doing it if the punishment was that stiff. You know what I mean? Eventually, Christian Sellers was charged with 19 counts of possessing CSAM. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, not only did Christian Sellers download CSAM, the Christian Sellers worked at several different child care facilities, daycares in Northwest Arkansas, in Bentonville, in Centerton, in Rogers. He seeked out places where young children would be. places I'm sure he got gratification by changing diapers of young boys. Christian Sellers did not get bonded out of jail. Christian Sellers has been sitting in the Benton County Detention Center since the day he got arrested last year. So today, on October 15th, Christian Sellers actually accepted a plea deal. He pled guilty on those 19 counts of possessing CSAM and those 2 counts of second-degree SA. And in exchange for pleading guilty, he was sentenced to 20 years for the first count of second-degree SA, 20 years for the second count of second-degree SA, and 10 years for each of the 19 counts of possessing CSAM. All of that is set to run consecutively for a total of 230 years in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. Now, Christian Sellers did get credit for the time that he has spent in the Benton County Detention Center, which was 487 days. Should he ever be released from the ADC, he has also been ordered to pay court cost and a $1,000 fine that he has to start paying 120 days after he is released, if that ever happens. Also, if he is ever released, he is ordered to have no contact with his victims. He is ordered to have no unsupervised contact with any minors, and he will have to register as a SMEX offender. I do have some advice for Christian Sellers, though. I know he's been in jail for 487 days, but he's going to have to get a different set of skills to make it through prison, I fear. And so my advice is that he learns skills like this.
It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 99 degrees. I ain't got no and got me.
And also maybe learn to stop preying on children.